Sending data. Data.
We could be live.
It's
We wouldn't
sending-
even know.
It's sending data.
I feel so professional.
We might be live right now.
How do I?
We should start acting
On
as
the church
though
page?
we are live.
If we are professional.
Check, see if
how
we're
do we know?
live. We're really gonna mess up the intro here. No, doesn't seem like we're live. Do you see us there anywhere? Are we live? Are you checking? Are you, or were you checking your email? Is that what you're doing? What?
That's YouTube.
Oh, it actually has a placeholder there?
We're live on
Good.
YouTube.
But it's not live though.
No, it's not live.
Oh, so how do we?
Oh, because he has it. Wait.
Oh, now it says view on. Oh, now it's
Don't we-
streaming. It says it's streaming now. Check
Now
it.
we're
Are
streaming.
we? Are we actually streaming?
I'm not on YouTube yet.
If we're streaming, we need to start
You're
looking at
streaming.
that camera
You're
right there.
streaming, yeah.
Oh, we're streaming.
Oh, quick,
Oh
I'm so
boy,
excited.
we are
I can't
streaming.
find it though.
You can't. You're gonna try to find it on your
I'm
computer.
trying to find it on my computer. We should act like people are watching.
It says
Sorry, we're watching.
we're
live.
streaming. Hello, everyone. We thought we would come on and do one last chat with the pastors.
I
Go
know. It's a sad statement.
We started
in
this.
itself, but-
We started this in 2020, and we both had a lot less gray
Ooh.
in our beards.
If we had a producer, they could slide a picture over
Oh
and then
yes,
slide back over.
we did not plan ahead enough
But
to do that.
They don't have that. We don't have that. So if you go back on your Facebook 2 or 3 years, you
One
might
thing that
find
was
it.
sort of a ritual that we would start off with was the sound of my thermos, my coffee thermos. That was as a very endearing sound. Then I would pour some coffee.
and he'd make some kind of cracking joke about
That's all I have left.
how come I don't drink.
Oh, right. Ryan's a caffeine agnostic or something. Should I put that there?
Agnostic.
Anyway, we didn't let anyone know that we were going to do this.
No. So if you're surprised by this,
Yeah. Probably
Good.
still waiting. Are there any viewers? Or
I
you,
can't
you
even
still
tell.
don't have it up here?
I don't think it's live.
You forgot how to use your computer?
Yeah, I don't even know how to do it.
Is it live? Can you see it?
No, they can see it.
Okay.
Why can't we see
Go.
it?
Go on. Go on. Can you come and help Ryan find it?
Why can't I find
Come and help Ryan find it. He doesn't know how to use his
It's not
computer.
showing up on my. Where's my live?
It's live on YouTube.
This is good
It's not
because
live on Facebook.
you always have to wait for viewers to join, and we're expecting
Yeah, this
the
is
tens of thousands of viewers here today.
It's not live on Facebook.
It's not live on Facebook?
I don't think
Well,
so.
what are we doing then? We wasted a good intro.
I don't know.
You see it on Facebook?
I'm checking it.
Can Nico see it on Facebook?
He's checking it.
Or is he watching it on YouTube?
No, he's not. I just told him to check.
It says on YouTube we have 2
No,
viewers,
this is
2 viewers on
and
YouTube.
on Facebook we have 0, because that's not right. We would have
We would have tons.
literally thousands of viewers if it was on
Something's
Facebook right
wrong.
now. Should I click this link that says view on Facebook?
You guys are very much live on
Should
Facebook.
are we?
Where is it live
Well,
on Facebook?
you're the producer. You're supposed to be telling
I
us.
told you.
Why can't we find it
I told
though?
you once you click that, that's a Ryan issue. I went on to Facebook and I can
Oh,
see
now I see one person is watching our
Yeah,
stream.
me.
I'm going to click on this link, and hopefully that doesn't kill this whole live stream. Chat with the pastors. I'm not
gotta
gonna.
log in.
I'm not gonna log in
Why
here.
can't I?
It does say live, and there's 1 viewer. Okay,
It's not showing up on my. I don't know.
just go to the AMMC page.
I was there.
This is the best live stream ever. This is probably the way we started in 2020.
This is much better.
I
when,
think this
uh,
is much better, honestly. If only we had a mic.
Where would it appear here
If you
if it was in the live stream? In the video section? Go to the video
no,
section.
if you just go to
This?
if you go to the AEMMC page,
Yeah, he's there.
the icon will be red. Just click on the icon.
Oh, it's not. It's not though. You
You
sure it's
are-
going to the right one?
Jake and Ev are watching. Shout out to Jake. And
Oh,
Ev.
Hey,
5
Jake and Ev.
people now. Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hello,
Look
5
at-
people. We see Nico.
6
Nico's
people.
smiling back there.
We're popular.
Something's going right. Okay, click on that. Click on that.
On that?
That's what Kieran is saying.
This button right
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Click on that. No, that did nothing. Absolutely nothing. We still can't see. We want to see your comments and stuff on here. All right, our producer's coming on screen. He's taking a break from delivering strawberries this afternoon, in the 45-degree weather, to come and help us set up this live stream.
We are very professional.
We got 6 viewers now
6 viewers.
on Facebook. Hang in there, folks. It's going to get very exciting. We're just waiting for more viewers to show up.
Yeah.
We have.
This is just,
Is there anything here that we could call a big announcement?
well, we have one big announcement.
Oh, now we're down to 5. Nico stopped watching.
He's watching
But between the 2
He's watching it
platforms, we have
live.
9.
9 people.
You just can't find it, eh?
Are you guys not working today? Is that what you guys are doing? I don't know.
What?
The 9 people that are watching.
Oh,
They've stopped their work or they've
they're
taken
probably
a coffee
driving
break.
and watching.
Ooh, if you are driving and watching, please pull off to the
Got
side.
it on there.
Nico's
Why is-
not anymore.
Oh,
It's not working. I cannot find it. It's not telling me. It does not want me to watch.
it doesn't
this.
make sense. You should be able to see it there.
You should be able to.
I always find these are the best live streams when people just talk and they don't know what's going on, and
No.
also they can't see whether or not they're on a live stream. Obviously,
I honestly don't know if I believe.
we're down to 4 now. I think we're fumbling this. We had a chance to make a major.
Whoa.
Hey, there we are. Okay. Ooh, it's
Okay.
it's pretty immediate too. Now you're gonna see comments if they come up there.
Hopefully.
Maybe not. All right. If you are out there on Facebook and you're watching this right now, find some way to make a comment and we'll see if we can see it. If you have very deep and serious questions,
Oh yes.
save those for another time. That's not for now.
We would love to answer those. Please send them in.
All right. So
Oh,
this
Cornelius.
is Chat with the Pastors.
There we go.
Excellent. Nico sent us a message. Cornelius Fair.
We're live.
I'm at work in the cafe. Excellent. We'll be watching these comments as they come in.
Oh.
We might read them if they're appropriate. We will read
Wow.
them on screen.
I wrote please comment once and it says it. Wrote it 3 times.
Oh, very good. Very good.
I'm really good at this.
Here we are, Chat with the Pastors, our final episode. As I count down my time here at the church, we thought we'd turn on the camera one last time. This all started out as, you know that saying, 2 turntables and a microphone?
Yeah.
This was 2 morons and an iPhone.
With a lot less gray.
How we started. Yes, we were watching some clips from our early broadcasts or tests or
Tests.
but we definitely
They might
had
have been broadcast. We might not have known.
less gray hair and fewer pounds for me anyway. I put on some weight over COVID.
Yes.
That's hoping that's gonna. What are we doing now, Kieran? Oh, we're gonna make sure we get a solid
We are
connection.
gonna
Don't touch.
bump
You said not
up
to touch that box.
Quality.
Here you go.
That's gonna give us a better connection. Make sure. Seriously, you're just flinging that thing around.
Yeah, just change it.
There we go. Say now we got
If you
on.
guys could all see the behind
We
the
got you on
scenes
screen.
of all this, you
This
would
is
be
behind. This is behind the
absolutely-
scenes right here.
I know, but absolutely the tech setup that we have with
Don't
the
mess it
lights
up.
and everything that's set up, it's absolutely amazing.
Don't mess it up. It
So
seems
we've
to be
always been
working.
grateful for
No,
Kieran for
it's
making
just
us look
like
good.
the stream quality is not ideal.
Oh, it's probably good enough.
No.
It's just 2 morons and an iPhone. I can't see
It's
what's
about
happening.
to get HD quality.
Are we good now?
I'm just checking if
You didn't mess it up, did you?
maybe
You might have.
potentially.
Let's assume that we're still live here. Uh-oh. It's choppy.
We're seeing a very,
It's very choppy.
very delayed.
all the hours and thousands of dollars we spent on tech. Here we are basically talking into a laptop. No, it was all good. When we remembered how to use it, it was amazing. And it does work amazing every Sunday when you're live streaming.
Exactly.
It works great.
When we have the proper people.
Just for this.
with the proper setup.
Just for this particular
Much
use.
better.
It's okay. This wasn't supposed to be very serious anyway.
No, we
Looks like you have a message there. Is that?
if people even hear us, then we the stream's freezing and dropping out occasionally. Like Roger's there for us all the
Every
time.
time.
He's always there for us to tell us what's how to help and do it. So it's really good. We're very thankful for our faithful followers.
That's
Yeah.
the
Like-
network.
I'd like to click on the like and subscribe button. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what we need
I'm-
right now. Then you
I
can
don't-
see future non-episodes of Chat with the Pastors. Hey, Anthony's there. How's it going, Anthony?
We said hi to Anthony.
What's up? I didn't, because I didn't realize he was there.
Oh.
So does this look like it's still streaming?
Okay, we're just gonna go back to
We
Wi-Fi.
can hear everything you guys are saying. Uh-oh. Oh no, they can hear everything. Oh, and
Well, that's
hi
good,
says hi.
because we have a microphone right here, so that
There you
makes
go.
sense. I want to scroll down so I can see how many viewers we have. Oh, good,
Yeah,
it's set up properly. 6. We're staying at 8. It's balancing between the 2 platforms, but it stays around 8 viewers. I mean 800 viewers. It's amazing,
Yeah,
very
We
popular.
just abbreviated it. It's 8 million viewers.
There we go.
But anyway, for future
Live.
So it should be
for future people who are going to watch the video of this and they're getting really tired of all the preamble,
Yeah,
why don't we
let's
start the
start.
program here? Let's get with the program.
Click.
Here we are. Welcome to
Welcome.
Chat with the Pastors.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, we have updates today. There are no restrictions. And that's good. So that's the end of that part. Now, we wanted to come on today, and for those of you that don't know, I'm done here on the 30th. I'll be pivoting to something new. And Chat with the Pastors was such a fun thing that we did during COVID. It was one way that we stayed in touch with you, the congregation, and then other people. I remember there was one time when we had done a bunch of episodes, and we thought, I don't know, is this still reaching people? And so we thought, you know what? Let's not do it anymore. And then that week in the Elmer Express, it was like,
Oh, that's right.
there's
They
this
put
thing
us on
called
the-
Chat with the Pastors.
they
That's
put us
really
on the
helpful.
paper.
So then we're like, all right, I guess we're just looking for a little affirmation.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we'll make more
We're like,
episodes.
We'll keep going.
So this is where we started back in 2020. We decided that we wanted to stay in touch with people. And so in addition to staying in touch with people in real time and space, we did a lot of video work, and we just sat in the sanctuary at this table. At first, we just set up an iPhone and started live streaming, trying to figure out what we were doing. Remember, we had a giant whiteboard there, and we're trying to
We're trying to read
reorganize.
behind it. Yeah, it was. They charted notes, so we had like our teleprompter, which wasn't a teleprompter. It was just written.
Yeah,
on
it wasn't
a
very
whiteboard.
good.
It was not. It was. Yeah.
It wasn't like Joe Biden's teleprompter, where he reads the stuff in brackets. Take a breath. Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to read that.
He fell asleep. Yeah.
Anyway, we were just watching some old clips, and we had a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of
I
fun.
think in the pre-meeting for this, we were like, what should we talk about? It's going to be very serious stuff. And then when we were watching the clips, it was like, oh, we just turned on the camera and started goofing around.
and you guys keep watching. So
we just don't seem to
we
do that very
appreciate it.
much anymore, so that's good. We're up to 10 viewers now.
But
between
we
the two
did. We
platforms.
do have some like highlight moments
We do.
that we enjoyed over the years. I mean, I've enjoyed all my 6 years with ministry with you, and I'm not looking forward to not doing it full-time ministry with you. I'll still continue to do ministry with you because we're in the kingdom, right? So we're doing
I'm just a text message away.
just a text message or a phone call or a drive so far. So
But yeah, 6 years, and a lot
so-
of your time is really defined by that COVID period, because you came in 2018.
Yep.
But usually for a pastor, the first year and a half, even 2 years sometimes, is just sort of getting into things and figuring
Learning
out how
people's
everything
names.
works. But
Yeah.
not even a year and a half into yours, we had the COVID thing, and then that dominated our lives for a couple of years.
It still feels like it dominates our lives.
That's a lot of our, well, in some ways it feels like, man, that was a decade ago, but it definitely
yeah.
wasn't.
But one of the things that I've really enjoyed, like the online stuff, obviously this has been fun to make Chat with Pastors live and stuff, but we did a lot of pre-recording stuff for Sunday school, for church services, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember the first time they recorded me preaching, I acted like there was people in the congregation. There was nobody here. But
I
it was
see
like,
that
hey,
hand.
yeah, like it was like right there. It was like, that was really weird, but we've gotten better over time, and we were able to live stream and stuff. But one of the things that we did was online Sunday school.
You know what we should have done is we just should have had a prop, like a hand, just a hand, and then put it on the bench. You'd be like, I see that hand. Sorry, go ahead.
But one of the things I really enjoyed with online Sunday school, which we did some goofy things for online Sunday school.
We did.
But one of the highlights of working with you on it was we turned you into a painting.
Yeah, I was only on one episode, but it was it was a doozy. It was a painting,
So
a
if you're-
talking painting,
Yeah,
an
if
animated painting.
you're looking for something that will creep you out, make you laugh, find the episode that Michael's a painting, and it was good.
I think
So-
Nico or Kieran can find that for us, and then
They
they can
probably
put it in the comments. We'll put it in the show notes,
Put a
as the
link,
saying
yeah.
goes.
Check on the link below.
That was fun, wasn't it?
That was
there
fun.
was there a new?
Roger Peters, my kids still want to watch the online Sunday school.
Oh, that's nice.
Well-
That's nice. Go watch past episodes. They're in syndication now. We charge a very low fee.
We'll see. But our first episode here doing church and online Sunday school was like, that was hilarious, but yet so rewarding because it felt like we were actually connecting with people, which was good. And people,
And
liked
eventually it turned into a pretty amazing thing. Like
Yeah.
Nico and Kieran did some amazing production work,
Yep.
and it started to turn into like VeggieTales level programming, I would say.
I don't know. if
Not
we're
quite
that
VeggieTales,
quality,
maybe
but we're
Adventures
pretty
on
close.
Odyssey,
Maybe
something like that.
something like that. Adventures in
Polka Dot
Elmer.
Door.
Polka Dot Door. I see.
It
John.
wasn't too
No,
bad.
that was-
Yeah, and I think the kids really appreciated that too, as we can
Yeah.
hear from. Oh,
But the
Susan-
other
Susan's
online
there
stuff
now,
that we
too.
did, and this is probably a highlight, and I think this has got to be the highlight for most people in the congregation because I think we got the most feedback for it, was when we were able to get back together.
Yes.
And that you and I walked around with correction. We ran around with
Yes.
a selfie stick.
Just an iPhone on a stick, and we ran around all over the, in the back,
The
and
back,
front,
we went
and
through the church and went to
all
the
over the
back,
place,
and then we were at
we
the
were
parking lot. And
running out of breath.
So, and people just seem to think that was absolutely hilarious watching two guys run with a stick that shouldn't be running. So,
Yeah.
oh, we got paparazzi. That's awesome. Hello, Mrs.
We have a
Reimer.
fan taking a picture right now. That's probably going to be on Facebook later. Mrs. Reimer just took a picture.
The church is always busy. It is always fun.
You have to license the rights to that photo.
Tag us in it. That'll be it. But yeah, so that was. I mean, as much as that was a hard time, that we enjoyed ourselves.
We did. And we did, what else did we do to connect? I had a book club that went for a while. We did some prayer nights. We did Bible studies. We did everything
Yeah.
that we possibly could. And then, but our sort of our main thing every week was chat with the pastors. And sometimes we'd just come on and talk. Sometimes we had a little bit planned. Sometimes we interviewed other
Interviewed other people,
pastors
yeah,
that were
yeah.
in Manitoba, Alberta. And so we got to expose our congregation to some other pastors that we know. So that was
Yeah.
good too. So there's a lot. Probably if you go onto our YouTube page, there's a bunch of these things that are on there.
They're still there if you find them.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. What else did we do? Oh, Anne Marie and I had our 25th anniversary
Yes.
in 2000, so that kind of
Yes.
messed up our plans. We were going to do some travel, but instead, a bunch of you people from the church, I think you,
I don't even
what
know.
was it again? You each chose a country or something, and then you dropped off flags and gifts and stuff, drove by our house.
Yeah, we drove by and every car was themed up with something
Yeah.
with flags in different colors and then a themed appropriate.
Yeah.
I think we had Ireland, so we gave you potatoes. Like it was like I don't know, but it was so funny that everybody had come here, but we couldn't get out of our cars to talk to each other. But we're all excited, we're all gonna go, and
It
then
was.
it was this big trip to go over in front of your house, and you guys are coming out, and you guys, what's going
Yeah,
on, and all the
yeah.
honking and everything else. You guys are surprised, and we're like shouting and screaming, and then we all went our separate ways.
We did, but it was a nice moment.
It was a
Very
nice
nice
moment. I
moment.
actually felt pretty connected to the church, and that
Mhm.
before COVID, like we were connected. Not saying that we weren't, but it was one of those things where you're involved in something that you start to go, okay,
A group activity.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're part of it, and that was as much as it was nice to celebrate your anniversary
Yeah.
in the best way that we could at that moment. It
Yeah.
was nice to feel really connected that way. So
And then, sort of getting to the tail end of COVID, we decided, hey, why not preach through Revelation?
what a great
Seems
book.
to make sense that during this time of calm and civil harmony, we preach through the book of Revelation. And that was good.
It was good.
We just sort of passed off or traded passages. You'd do one, I would do one.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was good.
It's probably my favorite book that we went through together and working together in preaching.
But I
But
thought it worked pretty well.
a lot of people really connected to it too, and a lot of interaction. So I don't know if it was that time period where people were missing interaction, but I remember people coming talk to me about it and asking questions and just follow through, and yeah, so it was powerful. But I always loved that every time we talked about something, like it just fit perfectly with exactly what was happening in our society at that time.
Yeah.
Like it was just
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, as we went through Revelation, as it was a very visual language, so we had the kids draw pictures.
Pastor Michael's challenge.
That was good. I bet I have some of those in a folder somewhere.
I think I have an audio of recording of you so that we could.
Oh
put
yeah,
into the
that's
video,
right.
like,
I would send in a
kids send in your.
see if you
Pictures
can
or
draw
notes
this
or-
based on these verses. Yeah, it was very good, and they all drew better than I did. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, it was a great book, and I think a lot of people. The takeaway from that, a lot of people were like, "Well, Revelation is this big scary book, and we don't know what's going on, so let's just not read it at all."
Yeah.
And people went, "The Bible is actually pretty applicable.
It's the Bible. Why don't we just go
and
into
why
it?
would we get afraid of it?" Like, so yeah, that was fun. And then just before COVID, we went to TF. You came to TF with us,
Treasure Foundation in
Youth
Steinbach.
Conference in
Yeah.
Steinbach, Manitoba.
Yeah, my last my last trip before COVID was Steinbach in December. No, that's
No,
not
that's
true.
not true. You
I went
went-
to Bolivia.
you went to Bolivia
Actually, I think
right
I went to
after.
Mexico and then Bolivia.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's a different story. But yeah, it was just
Yeah,
was fun to
December in
travel together
Steinbach
and
was
hang out,
interesting.
and I didn't know many of the people in our conference, and so it
Mm-hmm.
was really helpful for you to connect with me to people and stuff. And now I have pretty good relationship with most of those people that
Yeah,
connected with at TS. So it was really helpful.
yeah.
So it was good.
We made it through. It was good.
But you have been here much longer than I've been here. I've been here 6 years. You've been here
Almost 15 and a half. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just over 15.
So
Going all the way back to 2009.
if you think back to 15 years,
Yep.
what are some of the things that just like, okay, I mean, church work is church work. If you work in the church, you understand that. If you come to a church, you understand there's certain things that happen. But what are some of the things that just stand out to you that like?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is testimonies and baptisms. Always a highlight of the year
Yes.
for me, especially the last few years. As usually I've led the class, about 6 weeks of interactive training where
Yeah.
we get to know the people that want to be baptized or want to become members of the church. This last group that we just finished up a month or so ago, and then a bunch of them got baptized. Very cool. We create a WhatsApp group for each one of these classes. They're all arranging to have like social gatherings, and they've become like
That's really cool.
a friend group based on the time that they entered the church. So that's very cool as well. But yeah, just getting to hear people's stories of transformation, and and seeing some of those. Having been here for 15 years, seeing people go from being like pre-teens to going through a period of difficult teenagerhood, and then adulthood, and then eventually turning back to the Lord, getting baptized, committing their lives. That's a pretty cool trajectory. Because over 15 years, I mean, your young adults were teens and preteens before that, and that's a very cool thing to see people come into the church. Maybe I would have baptized them, and eventually they get married, and all the weddings that we did and funerals that we did. It's pretty cool over that amount of time, because you actually see generational change in the church over that time.
I'm curious how many people, and I don't know if you can answer this question or not because you might not know, but how many people that you know of that came in, sat in the back pew, didn't want to be at church, just kind of came, and then now are, I would say, fully involved in the church?
2 guys come to mind. One would be Aaron Weeb. Aaron used to sit in this pew right here, probably the one that was reserved for parents with young children, and he was miserable, and eventually the Lord got a hold of him, became a deacon in our church, and then we sent him out to be a pastor in Blenheim, and so that's one. The other one would be Notch Cohenhofen, as well, has said before. He wasn't the biggest fan of coming to church, and through a period of years and challenges and some discipleship, he's now together with his wife our head deacons.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. If you come to a church and only stay for 3, 4, 5 years, I mean, you get a glimpse of it, but you're not really deeply integrated into that community. You're not actually seeing children grow up and watching that sort of that generational transition. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, I think of the there's one event that we've gone to for maybe 10 years in a row now, which is Free Indeed.
Free Indeed.
At
yes.
Hope Church in Oakville.
Shout out to Free Indeed.
And man, we have just seen so many stories of transformation through that conference.
Yep.
We used to go to another popular conference, which we won't name, that was
Not Free Indeed.
It was kind of losing its grasp on choosing speakers and speaking from Scripture. And so at some point we switched over to Free Indeed, where we got really good, solid biblical truth every time we went there. And lives were changed. And it wasn't just that there's, like, to a degree, there's a bit of an emotional high with an event like that, right? Because you're hearing good preaching, there's really good music, but the way that they run it, it's like solid scriptural truth. And so that reverberates as we come back home. It actually gets into people's minds and hearts and souls. And we've seen real life transformation happen,
And they
not just because of that event, but because of discipleship
But they
that happens
continue that
afterward.
life change event. which
Yeah,
they-
exactly.
They continue in that journey,
Exactly.
not just a
Yeah.
mountain hop high and be like, okay, we're done. It's a
Yep.
mountaintop
Yeah.
learning, and then they apply that to their life, which.
And then there's another class that we taught through, I think between our small group and teaching it here at the church, I think 5 times we taught through this. Most recently again in the spring, which was A Beautiful Design, which is a series by Matt Chandler. That has had so many
Yeah.
great impacts on men and women, families, really helping husbands step up in leading and sacrificing themselves for their families. Always love to see the fruit of that, and we could see how effective it was, because people would take it more than once, and there was so much to learn there, and it was almost like it was the same material, but it was almost like level 1, level 2, level 3. When you took it, you heard sort of the wisdom that was maybe a little beyond you the first time, but you implemented what you did glean from it. The second time you'd come through and it's like, oh, I didn't hear that the first time, but that's my
Add some
next
more. Yeah.
level of discipleship. So that always worked really well too.
But I think doing that, and I was able to do that this year, which I was able to see. So it's a testimony to how powerful that beginning teaching was and worked through the years, because I worked with the youth this year and went through Beautiful Design. And some of the questions in Beautiful Design is like, where have you seen men not step up or women not step up, kind of to fulfill the roles that are taught in the class? And the youth in the class are going, well, no, my parents are actually doing that. My parents are doing that. And it's a testimony because their parents have learned that and then applied it, and now their kids are seeing that.
Yeah, that's cool. Because the first time we ran it, I think, was 2014. So that's a 10-year from when the first people took it. And usually we see the results of it immediately, like people begin implementing it. But over a 10-year period of taking it at least once, maybe multiple times, there's a lot of transformation that happens through stuff like that. So
So that's really cool.
very happy about that. Some other things, Man Camp, which is coming up this week again, out at Lake Whitaker. And commissionings I have written down here.
Ooh, yes.
So, yeah, with people like Aaron Wiebe and Notch Kaunhofen and Ben and Bertha Kaunhofen. They were our head deacons for a while. Then Ben was an elder, and then we commissioned them to go to the mission field, where another couple from our church, Abe and Margaret Harder, were already out in the mission field in Bolivia. So that's been very exciting. Sending people out is always very exciting, or even inside the church when they're becoming deacons or elders for the first time and commissioning them. That's also very exciting.
It's an exciting time to send people off. It's a sad time because you're like, oh, I'm going to miss them.
Yeah.
But the exciting part, even in the sad part, is that we're part of the kingdom, and the kingdom is so much bigger than just our local church.
Yeah, that's one of the when you decide that you're going to be a sending church, and our mission statement is preparing God's people to pursue God's mission. I mean, inevitably, pursuing God's mission will take some people out of the church to go to serve in other churches or on the mission field. And so that's sad, but at the same time, it's extremely meaningful.
Yeah.
And builds a lot of unity to know that people who came out of us and served here are now thousands of kilometers away serving other people. And they were trained and commissioned here. So that's really cool. Yeah, those are some of the things I remember. Aside from that, I mean, it's hard to mention this as a highlight, but I think you guys will know what I mean. But funerals have been a highlight. Obviously, we're not happy that anybody dies, but funerals are often a time where there is a special openness, where people are reevaluating, taking things more seriously than they ever have before. And it's an opportunity for people just to look at their lives. Often you're realizing that, hey, my time's coming at some point as well.
Am I right?
And maybe I should make sure that I'm ready for that. So, yeah, funerals have been meaningful and important.
It's a I don't know if you've never experienced this, but it's a huge honor to journey with people in those moments, because that moment is, I mean, nobody wants to go through those moments, but it's hard. But to walk with people and have people go, I just need somebody there. And to be able to, I'm honored when people ask me, or I'm able to help in and step in. So
Because people don't know what to do. Death is not routine.
No.
Right? And so often you're experiencing the death of a loved one for the first time. It's not like it's the 5th, 6th, 7th person close to you that's died. And yet as pastors, we walk through it dozens of times. And so we kind of have an idea of what would be healthy, what would be good. And it's a little bit different for each family, but we work through that. Yeah. So that's a good synopsis and wrap up of 15 years for me and 6 years for you.
Yeah, there's going to be tons of other memories, and you can't mention them all.
Yeah.
But we did say to our congregation, so I want to throw that out there just to remind people that if there is a memory or an encouragement or something like that that you are reminded of Michael and Anne-Marie and their family has been part of the church, I want you to send that into the office. We want to put together kind of a memory book, I don't know, a booklet, whatever you want to call it.
And if it's a bad memory, make sure you fax it on red paper.
Send it on fax. That'll be great. We'll get that
On
right
red
away.
paper.
On red paper.
Make sure.
But yeah, send those in to us, and then we can be able to do that and give that to the family. We would like to do that. But there's also on the 30th, we're going to have lunch together after the church service. Church service starts at 10:30.
Yes, all
Just
you
so know.
AEMMCers. The
Come
service is usually at 11.
early.
It's going to be at 10:30.
So, but then after, we're going to have wonderful lunch together outside, and there's going to be no rush. And so all those memories that you guys are kind of going through your mind right now and thinking about, bring them. Talk to Michael and Anne-Marie, talk to other people about them, and share them. Because even as we started thinking about this, like, what are some memories? And he mentioned something like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And it just sparks.
Absolutely.
And it's really cool to be able to to have that time together. So
So one thing that comes to mind, and the new ministry that I'm pursuing to pastors, one issue that often comes up is that pastors don't have friends inside their own churches, and that's definitely not been the case for me. And so after the 30th, by no means is there like a hard cutoff that nobody can talk to me. A lot of you are you're all my friends in one way or another, right? And so after the 30th, of course, I won't be involved in leadership here, and there'll be things that I just won't comment on, or I'm not going to get into. But as far as friendships, we're friends. So don't.
you still
don't-
drink coffee?
I drink coffee. Yes.
So you
on my
still-
front porch in the
So
summer.
you still want to go for
Absolutely.
coffee with people?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, when you're in relationships that are close friendships, they don't suddenly go away because I take a different position or because I'm not here anymore. And so I just want to make that known as well. It doesn't all end on the 30th. Just some parts of it end, and that's appropriate.
Now, I know you've mentioned this before to different people in our church, but maybe other people don't know. But what are you going to be doing?
What am I going to be doing? Well, as I said in my announcement back in October, last summer I took a staycation for a week, and I had no inkling that it was time for me to resign. I wasn't thinking about it. I just wanted to spend a week with the Lord, be completely open, pray, read, journal, drink coffee on my front porch. And it was during that week last July or August that the Lord made it clear to me that it was the work that He'd brought me here to do was complete, and that He also said there was a new ministry for me to pursue, which the seed of that had kind of come in 2018, but there wasn't really enough to work with there. And so when He brought that to mind again in 2023, it was like, oh, I see. He's been putting some things in place. And so it started with that seed on that week. And then over the last year, I've been developing that into this ministry called the Shepherd's Refuge, which is a ministry of care, coaching, and connection to pastors and other ministry leaders. And so as I've been, well, even before I started finishing my time here, that type of work started picking up, which was talking to and offering care to other pastors and some coaching if they're going through some difficult encounters inside their own churches. And so that's what I believe the Lord's calling me to in the next period of my life, is to pursue that ministry and to try to help make a dent in the crisis that's happening right now in pastoring, of pastors burning out, resigning, retiring, and leaving a lot of churches without pastors. So after
Yeah.
the 30th, I'll take some time to rest and then pursue that fully.
Dive back in.
Yep.
The stats are pretty crazy. I mean, I know the stats are crazy for a lot of places, a lot of different work field or work trades and stuff. They don't have enough workers and stuff, but the
Yeah.
pastoral stats are very unfortunate in my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those things where
It's
I
one
know
of
the Lord knows what He's doing, and we're seeking Him, but
Yeah.
people I don't think are fully listening. And so
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's pastoring is more difficult than some jobs. It's not more difficult than every job, but if you can't find a worker for a fast food restaurant, let's say, then you just have one fewer worker. But when churches can't find pastors, then there's 50, 75, 100, 200, 300 people who on a weekly basis are not receiving that leadership and that preaching that God has called us to do. And so to me, it's become a priority to pursue that and to try to make an impact there. So that's
Yeah.
following God's leading. That's what I'm going to try to do.
And I know I've talked to a lot of pastors. I know myself, just the stresses of life in ministry, and I know a lot of them don't know who to talk to, don't have someone to talk to. So I keep encouraging them to check it out, and I know it's going to make an impact. I'm happy for what God's doing and that He's led you in that. I'm sad, like many people in the church, that you're going to be doing ministry elsewhere, but we're also very thankful that you are actually living out what you preach, because you preach to us many, many times that whatever the Lord wants me to do, that's what I'm going to do. And you could get very comfortable saying, well, this is my job as a pastor, this is what the Lord wants me to do, and not listening to what He wants, but He's actually pushing you out of a little bit of a comfort zone, because this is not,
No, it's been
as
interesting to
steady,
say over
so-
the years. I've said it many times, is that the Lord may keep me here till I'm 65, and maybe 6 months from now I could be gone. But it's in His hands, and He directs the path, and I just try to stay in tune with that. So I'm glad I've said that over the years. And then when the time came, I was listening, and the pivot happened. And so it's good.
Yeah.
It's been a real faith-building exercise.
Which is cool to see that even as pastors, we continue to learn and grow with
Absolutely.
the Lord, and it's important. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a journey. Now, I did want to share this with you, and take it for what you want to take it with. But I've appreciated your teaching and leading, not just in teaching and sharing what the Bible says, but living it out and showing that. And so Hebrews chapter 12, the first 3 verses say this. It says, Hebrews chapter 12, starting in verse 1, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us so lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." And when I read that, I'm reminded of when I first got here, you would tell me many running stories, which I didn't know if I ever should believe him or not.
I had recently had a forced retirement, so they were still fresh.
So there were some good stories, but this is not why this stands out for me, because it says that we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, and it talks about the witnesses of faith that we've had throughout Scripture in the Old Testament. But for me, there's been a ton of people in my life that have been a great cloud of witnesses to the walk in faith, and you have now in the past 6 years been added to that. So I appreciate
thank
that,
you.
and I know that many in the church would say that too. So I appreciate that you continue to run that run the race, and that you continue to look to Jesus. So we don't know what's going to happen in the next 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've appreciated the 6 years that we've had here, and I look forward to how the Lord interacts our lives and other people in the church with you and the Lord and doing that. So I appreciate
Awesome.
that.
Thank
So,
you. It's been a privilege and an honor to lead these people, and to have you as my associate pastor has been very encouraging. I'm glad we were able to do the COVID thing together. Either one of us alone would have been a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I would not want to go through that alone. That wouldn't have been fun. So,
Yeah, good.
okay, serious note. Now we got to come up with something kind of unserious at the end. I don't know.
Oh,
What do we do?
dad joke? Quick dad joke?
Dad joke?
They come to me in the moment, and then I forget about them, so I just,
You gotta have the moment. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we had a great video on Sunday, and I laughed at it, but a lot of people are a little confused by it. But I mean, dad jokes are just. I mean, I read one.
Dad jokes are bad jokes.
They are. I read the other day, and it was like, and this is an old one, but when does a dad joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
And that's just like, it's so cheeseball bad that you shouldn't mention them, but I mean, they're just funny, right? Like,
They are
they're
indeed.
great. So
Well, let's leave it on that. How do we stop?
I don't know. We need
We
a
need our
producer.
producer.
I think it's this button, but that might blow the whole thing up.
Mr.
so-
Producer, how do we
We're gonna wait. We don't know how to end it.
stop braiding your
yeah.
bracelet and
Yeah,
come
no,
over here?
We don't know.
What do we do?
We're gonna cut it.
Just close it?
We're gonna do it. I don't know.
Do we just close it?
Hey, add your comments. Send in your stories. We'll see you on Sunday, but don't miss the
If I
30th.
pour coffee on it, would that
We
do
don't know how
it?
to end. So
You're just going to press the button?
classic.
There we go. Nice. I like that right in
Bye.
mid-sentence.